Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be a comparison over two cushion foundations from the drugstore. You guys really seem to like comparison reviews. They are my biggest videos by far. I don't know what the appeal is with them, but if you like them, I'm going to keep doing them. So today we are comparing the L'Oreal True Match Lumi Cushion Foundation and the new Maybelline Dream Cushion Foundation. I did talk about the L'Oreal Cushion Foundation quite a while ago, and I will link that below in the description box and also at the end of this video, so just click on it and watch that review because I'm not going to get too in depth with what I think about it. And I've actually only used the Maybelline Dream Cushion Foundation like twice, so this is kind of like a second impressions. But today I will be wearing both of these foundations side by side, comparing the coverage, the finish, how they wear, and all that stuff. So like I said, I did talk about the L'Oreal foundation a long time ago. But the reason I haven't talked about this is because I am very dissatisfied with the amount of product that you get in these cushion foundations. You only get 0.51 ounces. You usually get 1 fluid ounce in a standard liquid foundation, so you're getting half the amount that you usually get. So I found that with only like not even 10 uses, I would say like maybe 7 or 8 uses of the L'Oreal Cushion Foundation when I had it, it ran out, it dried up, there was like no product left, and I just thought for $17, are you kidding me? So yeah, you get 0.51 ounces in the Maybelline one as well. So on the Maybelline website, this runs for $16, but I only paid like $12.99 for it at Walmart. At other drugstores like CVS and Walgreens and stuff, they do jack up the price, so I definitely recommend going to Walmart. But on the Maybelline website, it says it has 8 shades. The first shade I picked up when I went, this is the only one they had available in like the lighter range. I got the shade 30 Warm Nude, and I really hoped that this one would work for me because it looked like a really nice warm yellow undertone, but this one's definitely too dark for me, so I went back and picked up the shade 20 Classic Ivory. Yeah, I am wearing 20 on my face today, but I do show you guys a side-by-side swatch of what each of these look like on my skin just so you guys can see like a reference. So the Maybelline description is very, very brief. It doesn't give much detail at all. It just says Maybelline's increased color pigments deliver complete luminous coverage for a fresh-faced perfection. So luminous coverage doesn't even make sense. Luminous is a finish. What's the coverage? So now for the L'Oreal Cushion Foundation, I got the shade N2 Classic Ivory. This one does work. I am wearing it on this side of my face today. So on the L'Oreal website, it says that they have 12 shades, but I'm counting 16. So I'm not sure if there are only 16 shades available on the L'Oreal website, like if you buy directly from L'Oreal. It says our luminous refreshing formula creates sheer to medium coverage. Tap a little for a fresh natural glow. Tap on more to build a new level of luminous coverage. What is up this luminous coverage crap? Like, luminous is not a coverage, it's a finish. So on the L'Oreal website, this runs for $16.99, and that's how much it was when it initially came out, but they did start lowering the price. So at Walmart it's $13.47, so it has gone down quite a bit. So yeah, it's pretty much neck and neck with the Maybelline foundation at $12.97. But if you guys enjoy comparison reviews, then make sure you give this video a thumbs up and let me know in the comments below what you think about them and if there are any products you want me to compare in the future. So now let's jump on into the demo and show you guys how each of these apply. Here is what my face looks like. I don't have a whole lot to cover up. I do have some bumps over here that I messed with this morning, so they are kind of irritated, but I really don't have a whole lot to cover up today. But I'm starting out with 2 clean sponges, and I want to use the same tool for this test. Real quick, I want to show you a couple of different shades in the Maybelline Cushion Foundation because when I first picked this up, they only had this one. This is in the shade 30 Warm Nude. The shade that I think is going to work for me is the shade 20 Classic Ivory. So here's the shade 30 Warm Nude. I'm just going to do a little swatchy swatch right here. So there's shade 30, and yes, it is a warm undertone. I think this is a good shade, but just not a good shade for me. And here's the shade 20 Classic Ivory. So on this side, I'm going to be applying the L'Oreal one. On this side, I'll be using the Maybelline one. Packaging wise, they look the exact same when you first open them up. They both come with a sponge and a mirror. And the product is actually enclosed by this little door that protects it from drying out, and both of them have it. So I'm going to throw out these sponges that come with it because not a big fan of the cheapo sponges. Okay, so my sponge is now damp, and I'm gonna go ahead and apply it on this side. Okay, so here's the L'Oreal side, and this is almost a perfect match for me. I do find that it's oxidizing just a little bit on my skin, so that's a good thing because it does look a little bit pale on camera. But yeah, that took me no time to apply. It blends out so effortlessly. It just gives you a really pretty luminous finish. It didn't cover up completely. As you can see, there are some bumps back here. But I'll go back in and do a second layer and just show you guys how it builds before this dries down too much. Okay, so there's a second layer, and I do feel like that built up the coverage a little bit more. In person, I mean, you can barely see them. Now I'm gonna go in on this side with the Maybelline cushion and a different sponge because I don't want to contaminate the finished result or the coverage or anything. So let's go ahead and do that. Okay, so here's the Maybelline side that only took like 30 seconds, if that. The L'Oreal side is a lot lighter, and this one just gives me a little bit more color, so I definitely like the Maybelline color a little bit better. So I definitely feel like they look the exact same on the skin. It's the same type of luminous finish. All in all, there are barely any differences with how they apply, how they look. So I'm gonna go in with the second layer and show you guys how it builds up. Okay, so there's a second layer, and as you can see, it almost got it to a full coverage, but I will say my blemishes on this side are not as irritated and red as they are on this side. As you can see, these little bumps over here, I don't have them on this side. But I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys the time because it's very late in the day and I should have started this earlier, but it is now 2:21. So yeah, they both blend out like a dream on the skin. It took me like 20 to 30 seconds to blend out each layer with both of the foundations. And it just makes my skin look so radiant and luminous without looking like shiny or oily or anything. So here's the Maybelline side and here's the L'Oreal. I just feel like my pores look better. They look minimized, and it's just sitting on my skin really, really nicely. I don't see any creasing or anything yet, but I forgot to say that I do have normal oily skin. I usually don't have any issues with getting shiny throughout the day or anything, but that can happen with certain foundations. It is now approaching 2:30. I'm gonna go off camera and finish up the rest of my face, and then I'll come back and show you guys how everything looks. Hey guys, so I'm back with the rest of my face on. It is now 2:44, so we'll say 2:45, but I'm still gonna use the 2:30 check-in time, or 2:20, yeah, 2:20. So here's what everything looks like on top of the foundations. I really, really liked how everything applied on top. I'm not seeing any difference in the appearance of either of these foundations. I will say the one minor thing I see is that there is a little bit of creasing right here in my little like parenthesis lines on the L'Oreal side. Both of these foundations are ones that you would have to set if you have oily skin, because where they do have that really nice luminous finish, they almost don't set completely because of it. But neither of these are full coverage. I can definitely see my blemishes peeking through, like the ones that were really red and irritated, but I'm really, really pleased with how they look on my skin. My skin hasn't looked this good in quite a while. So I will check back in at the end of the night and show you guys how the foundations held up and how everything held up on top of the foundations. So I'm gonna go about my day and I'll see you guys later. Hey guys, so I'm back for my final check-in of the night. It is now 10:44, 10:45. So this foundation has been on for a little over 8 hours. But just to kind of recap my thoughts when I was doing the demo, because I feel like I didn't really say a whole lot about like what I was seeing. Both of the foundations definitely felt very hydrating, and my skin looked really hydrated on both sides. I did feel like the Maybelline side built up coverage a little bit better. I did feel like I had to go in and keep applying product on the L'Oreal side to build up the coverage to get what I have. I definitely feel like a little bit goes a longer way with the Maybelline foundation. So I come to you bearing very, very sad news. So around 5:30 or 6, right around the 4-hour mark, I did notice that the foundations were starting to feel a little heavy. It definitely felt very uncomfortable and kind of thick. I just felt like I had a mask on my face, and more so on the L'Oreal side. But I will say a couple of hours ago, around 8 o'clock, I did notice that the Maybelline side started feeling a little bit heavier too. Here are what the foundations look like after about 8.5 hours. So here is the Maybelline side, and here is the L'Oreal side. Okay, so first let's talk about the L'Oreal side. So, number one thing that is really, really bothering me right now is this has clung to dry patches that I didn't even know I had. Like I said, I do have like normal oily skin usually, but this has made me think that maybe I'm kind of more dry in the winter. I didn't really notice it before, but right around here and around my mouth, I'm getting some serious caking and dry patches. Like, it looks super scaly, it looks very textured and just gross. Now, honestly, I haven't noticed these with any other foundations. I don't notice it without foundation on, but I go up here and there is a tiny little spot. You're not gonna be able to see it on camera because it's probably too far away, but there's a tiny little spot right there on my forehead that is kind of doing the same thing. It's not major, but it just kind of looks like it's settling to a dry area and it's kind of scaly. It's definitely nowhere near as bad as this right here, but I do see that happening right here on the Maybelline side. I definitely feel like the Maybelline side wore a lot better than the L'Oreal one did. I feel like my blush and highlight is a little bit more intense. I just feel like it stayed on a lot better, but I do feel like this side is just a tad bit more dry looking, a little bit more matte than this side. So I don't feel like either of the foundations have really settled in my pores or anything. Yeah, there's definitely a lot of creasing and a lot of fading on the L'Oreal side, and I really don't notice that much on the Maybelline side. So as of now, I'm gonna have to say that the Maybelline foundation wins. I like the color better, I like how it applied better, I like the way it blended out, I like the coverage better. I do want to play around with the Maybelline foundation a little bit more before I make my final verdict on it, because I really haven't tried it a whole lot, but I am definitely going to be posting updates on my Instagram, so make sure you follow me. And yeah, right now, Maybelline wins. So if you guys have tried either of these foundations or both, make sure you let me know in the comments below what your thoughts are, what kind of skin you have. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching and hanging out with me today. Thumbs up if you like this video, subscribe, follow me on all my social media, all the links are below, and I hope you guys have a beautiful day. Mwah.